We are here to really streamline your business where it needs to be. Teecee specialized in really simplifying your solutions, right? Anything from your systems to your data analysis and being aware of what those numbers look like. I am a business coach, so of course, I love to support lots and lots of women entrepreneurs, mainly to make sure that we are decluttering our businesses and not overwhelming ourselves, and also making sure that we are clear in our vision of what we're doing, right? Like, you gotta know what you're doing before you just go out there and set sail. And I'll give some examples of that today because I'm gonna go over what we discussed from last time, which was why every woman entrepreneur needs to know her numbers. And I think that this is one of the most important things that I talk about. And TC, you can tell me as well if this is something that maybe your clients do like this until you open up their eyes and then you go, wait, you got to look at your numbers. Otherwise, you're walking around in your business blind. So I'm going to send it over to you, TC. I would love for you to introduce yourself and just kind of add into that intro, and then we'll go into the topic of today.
Yeah. Hey, my name is Teecee. I'm really all about ensuring that your backend is simplified, from your processes, leveraging simple data, ensuring that what you have in your business is working for you. You are aware as to your numbers, you are aware as to what basically works and what's not working, just so you're able to make better decisions, you're able to execute better, and you're able to be more financially, inclined as to what's the next step would look like, right, for your business. Everything that has to do with systems, automation, targeted marketing. Yeah, I really love to make sure that they are essentially simplified and working for you. And I feel like today's conversation has a whole lot to do with every woman entrepreneur, especially with the mindset which we're going to be starting with today. Because we talk about know your numbers, know your numbers, know your numbers. People be like, oh, when we talk about know your numbers, the only thing usually I would hear is people would start to think, oh, how much? How much am I making? Oh, sales. Sales. You see, one thing I've come to understand is that if you don't know um, something as simple as how many followers do I need, how many leads do I need, you will find out that you will just get yourself running in circles. And before I get the mic back to Allegra, knowing your numbers has to do with a different angle. Like, there are different angles to it, from your mindset to your reality to understanding how to incorporate the things that you currently have into your goals, and understanding what to put together to establish whatever your objectives are. Knowing your numbers goes way beyond how much am I making? Because if you don't know something as simple as what are people saying, where are people at, how do you know what people are saying? Where do you look out for? Sales is the last thing that this is definitely going to be the last thing on your mind, for you to start to achieve. So I'm going to pause on that. And I really want us to talk about, most importantly, mindset around knowing your numbers.
I love it. So thank you, TC, for breaking that down because the truth is, you're right. A lot of people think of what they deem the world as pictured, right? Like, so if your paradigm of numbers means your price point or how much money you're making every day, and that's what you're thinking about, that's what you're thinking about. But reality wise, right? The reason why a lot of people avoid numbers, as far as how big they think on it, right? Because that means that you have to think outside of the box, right? Everybody's always thinking about how much money they want to make. That's a very, uh, I don't want to say is greedy, but it does come from a space of you're just chasing after the money. So if your numbers are only resonating as what you're getting, right? Like how much money I'm getting, how much money I get every month, how much money I have to charge, then all you're thinking about is making money. Now we're not talking about that, right? Because you can make money. Like there's people on the street right now making money as we speak. I'll tell you, because I just paid for a bottle of water the other day. I was thirsty. Okay.
Making money is definitely relative.
Right. Right. But I think it's important to know that numbers can naturally be something that people want to avoid,
Hmm.
right? Like just think about in school. Like when you're in school, one of the biggest things I would hear is that I'm just not good at math. That was big because I loved math. I was like, I can't wait to put my multiplications together, right? Because that energized me to learn that and want to add to real life measures. But if you never really had a desire or a passion for numbers and you never cared for it, getting in entrepreneurship and working in this field of CEO, that means that you have to know numbers more than anything. And it all starts with the number one.
I agree.
Now, TC,
Hmm.
I wanna do a mindset challenge
Hmm.
to show people that are numbers can feel cold, right? They can
Hmm.
feel very intimidating. But I'm gonna give a situation that will, I think, enlighten us as to why we still need to look at them and just get used to it.
Hmm.
Because if you just think I just have to start with the number one, which means that I just need to be one person to follow me on social media today. Tomorrow, I just need to get one person to follow me. So that one person yesterday and that one person today made what?
Two people.
Two.
Mm.
Now, if I do it again tomorrow, how many people are going to have?
Three.
Three. Okay. Now, if I decide that I say, you know what? I think I want to get more people to follow me. Okay. Now, the way I can get more people to follow me, now that means that I have to talk to more people,
Hmm.
right? Which is why we talk so heavily about when you get in business, it's not about you doing it on your own, because for you to talk to 1,000 people a day, that's crazy. What does that look like? Right? So we use systems, we use automations, right? Things that can take your voice, your video, something you do, maybe even in the comfort of your home, right? And just put it out there into the world so that multiple people can see you at one time,
I
right?
agree.
And if your simple call to action, which is we're starting with one, right? So let's just be realistic. If I say, hey guys, I'm putting this video out on all of my social media channels, I'm going to tell all my friends to share this video. And my video, all I'm saying is, hey guys, I started my social media channel. I just need followers. If you're interested in finding out about boom, 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 follow me on social media. And every time someone puts that out there, right, that gives other people an opportunity to follow, which means that it's adding to your followers. So now you're starting to multiply, because it's not just you adding that one person a day. Now your information is spread out into other communities, other spaces, and that means that now more people will follow you. Now, that's the power of multiplication.
Allegra, give me a second. Okay, just 1 second. Let me get this. Um,
And listen, guys, when you think about the power of multiplication, that goes into a whole nother area of, if you are looking at how you can gain more followers and you multiply that, then your next area, which is why, and this is what I'll tell you guys, this is important because we don't like to follow steps. We like to just get to the goal, right? We just want to hurry up and get to it. But the real truth of the matter is you have to take your time and intentionally building. And this is, I've heard, social media managers say this all the time. You have a lot of followers, but they're not the right audience. I hear that all the time. And I think a lot of times it's because we don't start with just one and then add and then add and then add. No, we want 100 at a time.
I mean,
And
why do we even need the 100? Do we know?
right. And here's what's so interesting is that if I get 100 people at one time, do you know how nervous that makes me, guys? Like, you know how nervous that makes me? Because that means that now I have to go through these 100 people and see who's going to be interested in what I do and who I need to connect with. That's not just a, hey guys, follow me, watch my social media. No, that's intentional work. That's saying, okay, I added these followers. Now, how many of these followers, now I'm counting again, how many of these followers now have clicked on my content and engaged with me? Now I got to start the numbers all over again. TC, I'm going to let you chime in because
No, no, no. While you were speaking, something just obviously we're talking mindset check, right? And you're talking about these numbers on social media and followers, and I'm like, okay, how about we do, since we all love to talk about numbers, money, how about we do the mindset check for the money numbers? Now, we all say we want a certain amount of money, right? Yes. Oh, I want to make maybe 5,000, or I want to make 10,000 in the month of August, for example. Now, maybe person A be like, oh, you know what? I just want to make it. I just want to, I just want to make 10,000. I just want to make 20,000 because everybody be like, talk about six figures, right? And so I just want to make six figures. Now, you find yourself roaming all over the place, and then you're getting so many people in your space. Then it hits you. You're overwhelmed because there's so many people you need to cater to get to that six figure. Now switch the mindset. When you understand your number and you say to yourself, okay, you know what, you see, how many people do I need? Okay, no, you start like this. You say, TC, what do I need to get to maybe 10, 15,000 a month? So say, okay, you know what? I need two offers, right? Maybe a high ticket and a low tier, whatever it is. Or maybe I just need one. And then we then say, remember, power of one, right? And then we then say, okay, you just need one. And we then look at, okay, now we know we just need one offer. How many people do we want to buy into this one offer, knowing that we know who we want to sell this one offer to? You see how the numbers game started rolling in our minds, right? And then we then say, okay, you know what, TC, honestly, truthfully, I can only cater to maybe two, three people. Now that gives us a different sense of, okay, you need to get 10,000, you need to make 15,000, and you can only cater to three people. Realistically, somebody out there is trying to house 300 people, and all they can make is 1,000, and they are overwhelmed and they're stressed out, and they, oh, 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 this is so much. And you are focused on understanding your numbers, and you know that all I need is just two clients. Some people be like, only two clients in a year, and they are locked up. Now, are you working smart, or you're working, oh, I just want them plenty? That's the whole numbers thing. That's the mindset check, because we talk about these numbers like it's a very difficult thing. Sometimes it can, until you sit down. Honestly, Allegra, I usually did not. I'm this one person that would say I don't like maths. But every time I say I don't like maths, people be like, okay, so you've done your first master's, you've done the second one, now you're doing your another MBA, and then you're saying to yourself you don't like maths. Like, why are you doing it? And I sat down and I said, because the maths that I don't like is the one you guys talk about. The maths that will get me to be strategic and understand that 1 plus 1 looks like 2. But sometimes when you're strategic about it, you can make your 1 plus 1 equal to 1. You just need to figure out how to plot the graph, understand where it is. Note to yourself that, hey, I just need one client. Honestly. Now, when you understand you just need one client to be able to knock off maybe a half of your revenue goal for the year 2025, you realize that you will stop having headache over how many people follows you or how many people don't follow you. So
listen, I call it
again,
the
I love
golden
the
egg. That's the golden egg right there. I love my golden
Oh
eggs because,
Lord.
well, and this is something just as to your point, TC, because we are talking about stuff that's in real life. Like people, we talked about this last time, where if you
Mhm.
haven't been in sales and you haven't done anything in that area, you just may not be comfortable selling in your own business. But you gotta
True.
sell. Like you have to talk to people about what you offer. So it means you have to have an offer, okay? Because I mean, as a business coach, I'm actually more shocked now than I was when I first started about how many people are trying to get an exchange of monetary gain from a person, like, hey, pay me, but I don't really know what I'm going to give you yet, but I can change your life forever, right? But there's no product, there's no service. So we have to have something already readily established. Like I love how you said, TC, you get a low ticket, high ticket offer. Make sure that you're clear about what that offer has in it, because if you don't know what it is, they won't know. And your offer, I actually had a conversation with someone who asked me, and these are some simple questions. So any question you have about business is not, don't ever think that you can't ask the question, because the goal is to ask the question. No one teaches you this in school,
Mhm.
right? So somewhere you have to learn, and especially when we give free game on these sites, you don't want to have to pay us thousands of dollars to get in our programs for it. So ask the question. And she said, what is an offer? I said, that's a good question. I said, I'm glad you asked that, because an offer can be a product, it can be a service, it can be a lead gen. It could be different things that you're giving people that gives them an opportunity to make that exchange. Okay.
Yep. Mhm.
You're offering them something that's going to support and help them somewhere in their life, and in that exchange they're giving something back, right? And I
Mhm.
think that that's something we have to realize in business, especially for our new entrepreneurs, because in the beginning of business ownership, guys, being very transparent, I did not feel comfortable receiving. So I want to always like give, right? So even if I had an offer, I would just give it away. So you can add your numbers up, but if people aren't, the people don't know that you have an offer and that you can invest, that they can invest in your offer, then it doesn't matter how many numbers you get as followers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So we want to make sure, like to the point here, that before you even start checking your numbers, make sure you know what your offer is, so that when your numbers come back, you know what numbers you're looking at. Okay. Um, to your point, TC, let me give you an example. Okay. Say if I'm looking to reach more people, because that's really what numbers is about. It's like you got to get people to see you every day.
Yeah.
Even the national brands that we talked about in one of our last series, all those big brands, they're still out there promoting. I was just watching a movie the other
Never
day and I
stop.
saw one of them companies, and I was like, oh, I found out that Apple never pays to be in movies. They just give them free cell phones. So they're constantly making sure that people see them.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter how big their brand is. So what makes us so special that we can't look at our numbers and we can't see how more people are seeing us every day? So it's real life situation. A woman runs a sustainable skincare brand and posts beautiful photos, videos on her social media, but she ain't making no money.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
She's
Mhm.
not making any money and she is confused. She's wondering, like, is my business flawed? Like, is there something wrong with my business? Because that's the first thing we do, right? We don't go, did I do something? Can I do something different? Or did I do something? No, we go, what's something wrong with my business? Like what's going on? We deflect. And then it basically is showing, right? Because this is what we use data for. It's never a personal thing. Because wondering if your business is flawed, wondering if you're flawed, wondering that's like you taking it personal. Like, okay, I wonder if it's something I did. No, what we do is we look at that real life situation and we say, okay, but you're doing the work, you're implementing the post, but your sales are not reflecting. So somewhere down the line, we have to look and see where your numbers are not matching up.
I agree. I agree. But you know what you don't know, you don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. But listen, for anybody here that's like, yeah, that's me. I'm not making any money. I work with someone who came to me after, I guess, 3 years in her company. If all 3 years she didn't make any money, But the first month she was with me, she did. Why? Because we just looked at numbers. And all we found out was nobody was seeing anything she was doing. So for 3 years, you're posting and no one's seeing it, but you are thinking they are because you're not looking at your numbers. So what the reach tells you is, if, say for example, she checked her Instagram and her TikTok, which is what she's using, right? And she realizes that only 100 people a week are seeing her content. So, when we look at stuff like that, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Now, some people can still say, well, maybe it's my product. Maybe they're just not looking at my product. No, the algorithm works off of different measures of consistency, clarity of your visibility, right? So, like, if your video is clear, if you're using, the right functions, like they talk about trending music and hashtag and things like that. But there's no perfect way. So you have to kind of identify where your algorithm is picking you up, which means you got to get your numbers. Go ahead, TC.
But
You about to say
you know that sometimes, or most times, I see that so many people are so quick to get in something new. You know,
something?
something new. I mean, you've been in business for, like, yeah, you're not making sales. I get it, right? And you've been in business for maybe 1 2 years. Some people do not understand that the fact that you've been in business for 1 2 years, you're not making money, is enough information for you to get it right the third year. But no, they want you to tell them, oh, I need to get something new. You need something new. You need one magic. You need what this. I mean, I
Well,
get
you
it.
know why, TC?
Hmm.
It's because it hurts too bad to actually admit that maybe I could do something different and maybe I'm the problem. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I keep adding on new things because it's called uprooting. If you guys read the Mountain Is You by Brianna Weiss, we read that a couple times in the community. Guys, it's called uprooting. There are self-sabotaging behaviors that people actually do every day in their business, and whenever things get hard or whenever it feels like it's too much or overwhelming, as we talk about, right? What we like to do is we like to get rid of that discomfort, right? Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. And now you want to do something else that feels better, right? Because now you just feel better doing it. Oh, okay, now this is exciting. This is momentum. But the truth
Yeah.
is,
True.
they never ever push through initially to get to the other side.
Hmm.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about what's on the other side.
Side. I mean, I know somebody who, they try something now. They just give it like 2 3 weeks. If it doesn't work, it's up to the next thing, up to the next thing, up to the next thing, up to the next thing. I'm like, geez. I mean, if you wouldn't even be my client, because I don't know, like, how do you, what do you, I mean, seriously? And then she's like, well, it's not working. I'm like, how do you know what's working and what's not working when you don't give it time?
Hmm.
I mean, business. Time is a critical source in
Hmm.
every business strategy,
Hmm.
right? I mean, some people just want another thing, and they don't even let the things that they currently have to breathe, to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even a child needs time to grow. Like, obviously, I didn't just come out boom, boom, and I'm like this, right? I mean, there's stages, but some people want to skip 1 2 3 4 5 6. They want to start from one and boom, they're 10, forgetting that it's process, and you learn, you gather data, and you're even much more, you're sustainable. That's the reason why we're talking about numbers. The reason why you see so many individuals really saying to themselves, oh no, I don't want to do this. It's not because, oh, maybe, obviously, if you have opportunity, there is no crime in having several sources of income.
Hmm.
That's
Yes.
that's the beautiful thing of being amazing. Even as an entrepreneur, you're not, as an entrepreneur, you're not meant to do just one thing. No. That's why you're an entrepreneur. You're not meant to do just one thing, because with the rate at which the economy is growing these days, If you try to do only one thing, I don't know how it will work for you. Maybe you don't have bills you're paying, but girl, listen, you can't, I don't know,
You got to be
right?
fluent. You got to be fluent.
Yes, you just have to. And so the fact that when you say, oh no, I don't want, no, most times the answers that we seek is just right in front of us. Just
Mm,
because we don't know the numbers. Even
mm,
when we think we do, we just do not know how to interpret it to
hmm.
making the decisions that we need. Say the followers you're getting. Some people be like, go viral, go viral, go viral. So many people that have all these viral something, they're not making no money.
Oh yeah. Oh. I
So
told
many.
you. Did I tell you? So. Oh my God, you are
Yeah,
so right.
you mentioned one, the guy that you're using is posted.
Yes. I can't. I'm still laughing because I just and it's not. It's not laughing at the
No,
person,
no, I
but
get you. Yeah.
you know, but does that it doesn't make any sense,
But
right?
I mean,
Because
there's so many people. I literally had one lady reach out to me and then she's like, oh, she has this tons of followers, this tons of people, and she's just saying it and saying it. And I said, okay, so you have all of these things. You don't need me. Why do you need me?
yeah.
And then
So
she's
listen, TC. I know you got a hard stop. I want people to really reflect on what's being said here,
yeah,
because before we can even do a deeper dive, because we just gave one example, and I think that this is just an opportunity for you all to really look at the real part, right? What are you afraid of? Because we've had examples that are so asinine, like, okay, 3 years not making any money and you're still looking like, what do I do? That doesn't make any sense. There's something that we have to shift and change, especially with women entrepreneurs, where we stop guessing, we stop being emotional about what's happening in our business, and we just look at the numbers.
that
It's the
word.
power of data driven results. And I think that when we dig more into this, and TC will drop all of our links for you guys to connect with us after the live, I want you guys to really take your time, even speak with us in our DMs
Yeah.
if you are a little confused around these things. Because just like that young lady said, what is an offer? Your question may be just as simple and you may be afraid to ask it. Our DMs are open. TC, anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Um, numbers is nothing for you to be afraid of, and you would notice that once you understand your numbers, even as a business, as a woman entrepreneur, everything else in your life will start to make sense to you because it flows in right now. Look at it as a lifestyle. Look at it as understanding your numbers in every area of your life, your relationship, your blah blah blah, every area of your life. Once you start to understand this mindset, you would see that every single thing in your life will start to make sense. Like who you connect with, how you connect with them, how you show up. Girl, you will be so smart and so confident because that's what knowing your numbers gets you. That's it.
That's it. That's all, everyone. TC, I forgot to tell you the red lipstick is popping today, sis. Thank you so much for gracing the stage.